My father disowned me because I want to take control of my life.
Control it, get all the cheat codes, go off into the sunset, put that joystick in drive.
Oh, God. Well, I am facing being disowned by my family because I'm planning on moving in with my girlfriend next year.
Woo.
Sounds like family troubles. But first, a little background. I come from a very conservative, driven family. My father has been very involved in my life, and I owe a lot of my success to him. Okay. He has worked hard to provide me with opportunities to keep me motivated and to ensure that I reach my potential. By the way, this comes from Nico and if you want to submit your own story and reach your potential, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit and send them in. Now, I am attending college on a full ride scholarship due in part to my own hard work, but also as a result of his guidance and involvement in my life. That said, my father's methods aren't the best.
What are his methods? Tell me, John.
I will. While he only does the things he does out of love for me and a desire to help me, he has always been extremely strict and controlling. While this was somewhat necessary when I was younger, his approach means the same despite the fact that I am now 22 years old. So basically, he's treating him like a 10-year-old. Like, hey, little Jimmy, did you clean your room? And he's like, yeah, Dad, I cleaned my room in my apartment.
But I'm also 22, and you don't need to police that anymore, father.
Yeah, no, I do. It's like when my dad tried to make me sign a contract to not drop out of college.
And you're like, fat chance, daddy-o, I'm dropping out. Boom.
Didn't work.
Became reality TV star. True story for those that know the John lore.
There you go. Google it. It's not on there. Now, essentially, his word is final. Disagreeing with him is unacceptable and disrespectful, and going against his will on any major issue is grounds for disownment in my family.
Wow.
That's not just strict.
The ultimate punishment. What does disownment even mean? Like, it's just like, I'm not talking to you anymore. Like, I want to know what the levels are.
That's my guess here is Dad will push for excommunication as hard as
excommunication.
Possible.
He's like the Pope.
Yeah, exactly. Just get him. Excommunication from the Pope.
Excommunication is a papal.
I thought it was a different word.
Well, you could say
I guess it works.
But excommunication is like it comes from the Pope and from the days of European churches being like the worst thing that you could do is get excommunicated from the church. It was like
right.
being
I guess
banished.
it is excommunicated.
Yeah,
you're right. Shout out to the Pope.
Better
than this dad, I think. Now, for example, my older brother has been disowned from my family for marrying his now wife against my dad's wishes. How dare you?
Sounds like you found love.
That is unacceptable. Just kidding. They met at the beginning of college, dated for 4 years, and got married soon after graduating. Okay? So while part of my dad's disapproval stems from the fact that he and my brother's wife do not get along, the main issue is that my father thinks my brother got married too young. Interestingly enough, my parents' relationship history perfectly mirrors my brother's.
I hate that.
I.e.,
the hypocrisy.
My parents met in college and got married when they graduated.
Yeah, but it's like kind of like I feel like relationships as they move forward in time have interests. Like my parents got together earlier than I'll probably get together, and like their parents got together earlier than they got together, and then my grandparents got together. Like my great grandparents probably got together at like 12. You know?
Wow.
I don't know if that's true, but I feel like they, as you go back, people got married earlier and earlier.
But dude, the level of hypocrisy, this would
it's
drive
crazy.
me.
It's crazy.
Insane.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah, I would be a little bit peeved.
Yeah, 100%. It is abundantly clear that my dad regrets getting married so young. ICU?
Oh.
I'm just saying. Just saying.
He's like, I hate my marriage. I don't want you to hate it too.
Keep watching. We'll see what happens. So now here's where I come in. After losing my older brother.
Maybe
to disownment.
To disownment.
To disownment. Okay.
Maybe. It could be. It could be this dad got mad.
I think we're going to get more details here soon.
Smashed him.
Oh my God. After losing my older brother, my dad has really latched on to me. He routinely tells me that I'm his best friend and he cares deeply about my success and future. It's safe to say that I am his favorite child. I have 2 sisters as well, as I am the most like my dad in terms of my interests and also the most successful.
Okay.
All right. Big
Beat your
shot.
own chest. Okay.
Golly. In fact, my dad and I get along very well most of the time. Unfortunately, I also have a very serious girlfriend. It's like saying, like, hey guys, I got some serious news to tell you. I am in a committed relationship.
Oh no! The
I know.
outrage.
It's
How
could
old
be,
are you?
I'm only 22, and guess what? It could be terminal. It could be for the rest of my life.
Oh jeez.
I know. How disgusting,
as well
right?
walk off the plank right now.
Terrible. We've been dating for over 4 years now, since senior year of high school, and we intend to stay together after we graduate. While my dad actually likes my girlfriend, he is diametrically opposed to how serious we are. In his mind, I need to date as many girls as possible.
Bro.
And I shouldn't even consider being in such a serious relationship at my age.
Dad's like, spread your seed, son. Take those ladies to the stabbing cabin.
We need to reload this, son. We need as many shots in as possible.
Oh my God.
Michael Jordan.
Dude, Dad's like, son, be a little whore.
So he needs that machine we pulled up. What is it? The backhoe tractor, the thing that plants like 1,000 seeds at once. We need one of those. Riley, look up those.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
We'll let OP know what he needs. Now, as a result,
it's like a fertilizer thing. There's like a fertilizer thing that goes like, and it does like this.
it has a giant, like, how many seeds does it plant? Like 1,000 seeds
Dude.
per second or
Oh,
something?
yeah. Crazy.
So many seeds. That's what his dad wants for his kid. Now, as a result, it is his view that I need to spend at least 1 to 2 years away from my girlfriend after we graduate to grow independently and to find myself.
I mean, he's like, I feel like his heart's in the right place. He's basically like, I hate my marriage. I don't want you to hate your marriage too, but it's misplaced because
Dude,
OP does not hate his partner.
I think this is a great example of when a potentially extremely productive intention and conversation was like, hey man, this was my experience.
Yeah.
I just want you to be able to explore. But OP is like, I love my girlfriend. I want to move in with her. And now he has to face being disowned from his family because his brother already was. I mean, it could be so great.
His dad just wants a bunch of bachelors,
Yeah.
He wants to live vicariously through his boys messing around.
Yeah. There's some
stinkiness.
There's some stinkiness and some
unresolved trauma.
Yeah, something in the dad, like again, like, oh, I think
a lot of seed probably unsown.
He has so much seed that he did not spill.
Yeah,
and he just wants to
pass it down. He wants to pass it forward.
Oh, daddy, no. Daddy, chill. Now, of course, neither my girlfriend nor myself want this to be apart for 1 to 2 years. I'm planning on pursuing a PhD after I graduate. I've already been accepted to several good programs. Woohoo!
Let's go.
This kid is like the greatest kid ever.
I know. He has a relationship. He's very successful. Got the PhD. Nothing's going wrong for this man.
And my girlfriend is currently applying for jobs in the places where I have applied to schools. Everything is falling into place here. So for some time now, our plan has been to move in together after we graduate. Given my dad's opinion on a relationship, however, I have misrepresented this plan to him, telling him that we are applying for things independently, but hoping to end up near each other. Essentially, the plan was to pretend that her dream job and my dream school just happened to end up being in the same place and that we got lucky. As stupid as this plan was, it actually seemed like it might be working until a few days ago.
Wait, just to understand that. So they're applying to a bunch of different things at the same time, and they're planning to be together, right? So
Correct.
It's like they're planning to be together. Are they? But is it not that where it's not exactly their dream school? They're choosing like to be together over their dream scenarios. Is that what's kind of happening?
He's already been accepted to places, and she's just applying. She's only looking for jobs in the areas he's been.
So it's not
to.
her dream job. It's just a job near him.
It seems that she is the one making more of the sacrifice, but I think the big picture thing here, and maybe to like break down really quick, is he is essentially like lying to his dad in order to kind of trickle truth. It is a one could say a trickle truth in the pursuit of something good, him being able to be with who he loves and not be disowned by his dad. But what do we think about that?
But at what cost? I don't know. Like,
it's a tough one. to be honest.
I recognize that there are people that can't tell their parents things. You know, it's
exactly.
like not everyone's gonna be understanding of who you are and how you choose to show up in the world. But as I feel like a general rule of the show is communicate early and often.
Exactly.
And you know, like it's gonna come out regardless. It's not his business. But if the dad's already in your business, he's gonna know your business. You know?
Yeah, I think. Again, generally, like I think for sure the rule of thumb generally here is like just go ahead and communicate what's happening, because then you get to like live authentically as who you actually are. You are in love with this woman and want to move in with her. But I don't want to 100% co-sign it, but I do see the very tender balance here of like,
of course, yeah.
I want to be able to move in and live with my girlfriend and
not be disowned.
And do my best not to be disowned. And that's not his fault. Like it's his dad that's doing that. So
yeah. I think should OP have done anything differently? Should OP have been forthright, you think, with exactly what was happening? Hey, I've already been accepted to the school and my girlfriend's looking for jobs near it.
To be honest, I think at this point, maybe not. Maybe
to not. So what he's done is good.
I think for the time being, because I see him struggling to try to continue this relationship with his dad. He clearly sees the good in his dad, and he obviously, as he absolutely should and is well entitled to, he wants to live with his girlfriend and be with his girlfriend, and he's like very harshly like taking his own judges and biases and using them to cut him off. So,
but then he says the dad will disown you for being with the person you love. Time to go hang out with disown bro and have a good life without him. You know, like I think this generally goes to like, and you know, there are exceptions to this rule, but to say the rule, if you being who you are, it makes you be disowned by who you love, then I don't know if that was a relationship that is worth protecting.
A phenomenal point. And you could also say, hey, look, this is me. This is who I am. I would love to be in your life. But if you choose to, basically remove me from the family, that's fine. I would want to continue and like work through this and like remain a part of your life because I love you. Yeah. And you kind of just leave it at that.
Balls in your court. Balls in your court. You can choose to move towards me if you'd like.
I feel like that. Now thinking all the way through, feel like that's a pretty good.
Yeah, and I think when you tell the truth early and often, you communicate early and often, you basically allow people to say like, I like this or I don't like this, and you still stay in integrity with yourself, which is I think the most important thing.
Agreed. But let's see what OP actually does. Now, as stupid as a plan as this was, it actually seemed like it might be working until a few days ago when my dad asked me if I would live with my girlfriend should we end up in the same place. Caught off guard, I told him, yes, we probably would. The truth is out.
All right. Okay.
That is when everything came crashing down. My parents are extremely conservative, and while they are not practicing Christians, they use the Bible when it is convenient for their arguments.
The worst kind.
I know you...
Lovely.
Riley.
Without all the full context.
I know you hate it, right?
Yeah.
Come on now.
It just like bothers me when people use Bible verses out of context. It's like, why? Why are we doing this?
Yeah. Dude, it's the worst. Thus, they are completely opposed to any form of cohabitation before marriage, despite the fact that they themselves lived together before marriage.
You know, that happened to me growing up. Like, my mom was always like, you can't do XYZ before you're married. And then I was like, wait a minute, but grandma and grandpa did, and you and dad did. Wait a minute.
This is
do as I say, not as I do.
And at least if you're like, hey, this was a mistake I made, that's a way different story. But when you're just like, I will disown you if you don't do this, but you did it. How about you disown yourself?
Yeah, my mom did it first.
Idea.
Ooh,
just an idea. Now, at this point, I think it's relevant to include the email that my father sent me soon after this conversation. Family. Okay, so this is to everybody.
Okay.
I have learned today that OP plans to live with his girlfriend. If they happen to end up in the same place, quote unquote, I am appalled, disgusted, and pissed off. OP, you could have not honored your parents more than to make such a huge life decision without so much as even an attempt to get advice or consider the implications of your actions on others.
What implications? How is this affecting you?
I don't like it, and now I'm gonna be mad, Daddy, and I wanna be happy, Daddy. Don't you want happy,
Exactly
Daddy?
that. That's what I'm imagining. A little
It's
Jabba
me.
the Hutt, Daddy-o.
Me, your daddy. Don't you love me?
Furthermore, it is completely against your family's values and your faith. You have shown how ridiculously immature and self-centered you truly are. Becoming an adult does not mean you can do whatever you want, no matter the consequences. To decide to live together, not because of unpassing away love and commitment, but because it just worked out, is morally and ethically disastrous. It seems that in this case, neither party are willing to give up their own overly inflated self-interests to sacrifice their individual goals for the other, but instead have decided to go their own ways and live together if by chance their individual choices brought them to the same place. Wow. ... Choices like this have immense consequences. None of you are even remotely mature enough to be making decisions like this without a serious study, debate, and mentorship. Avoidance of the discussion is yet another symptom of cowardice and immaturity. Sister has shown the maturity and respect to discuss the possibility of living with her boyfriend at some point, with both her mom and I, both separately and together on several occasions. She is taking her time to consider the decision carefully and how the decision impacts everyone involved. That is exactly how a mature, considerate, respectful family member behaves. To do so otherwise is disrespectful to your family in such an egregious manner as to threaten the very existence of your family relationships. You're the one threatening the family relationships.
Yeah, how is this threatening your familial relationships? You're the one who...
It's him.
It's him. He's the guy with like the gun being like, don't make me shoot you.
Why? Why are you making me do this?
Or I guess I should say pew pew. He's
The
the
pew
one
pew.
with the pew pew is like, don't make me bang you.
And
Man, we have to do so much censorship.
yeah, right. And again, too, I think like back to the earlier point of like, hey, I'm gonna do this. I want to be involved in my life, but it's unaliving them with kindness.
Yeah.
Like I think if you unalive them with kindness, it just so shows how insane they are
And who the real villain is.
and who the real villain is. And hopefully, if they actually learn, they'll be like, "Wow, here I was ready to disown my son, and he was still like, I'm here if you want to be,
Yeah.
but I have to live my life and respect myself."
But something that I am seeing in the dad's email is it's almost like he's mad that OP didn't ask him about the living with a girlfriend more than OP living with the girlfriend.
It
seems like he just I feel like he feels hurt that he wasn't consulted. And
yeah.
And like, if that is true, which I don't think it is entirely true, but I think there's a portion of it that is affecting the dad's answer. I think that goes back to our first point is maybe if OP had communicated this early, often, and transparently, the fallout from the dad feeling like he was blindsided would be less, because he's talking about how the sister is basically asking for the same thing, but he's like, she did it in a better way because she started talking to me before it happened and kind of giving me a heads up.
Yeah, I think it probably would have helped, but I feel like he also might be using that as a mechanism of control,
Manipulation.
to where it's
Yeah.
where it's like, hey, she told me, and it's like if you tell me when you're in the decision making process, I can more easily like stamp it out of you and
Yeah,
can
that's true.
control what you're doing. But I do think at least maybe this is probably so traumatic to OP to imagine receiving this email from your dad, not just to you but to the whole family, dude.
Yeah, I mean,
That would be heartbreaking.
getting flamed in on the family group chat is kind of whack.
Also, why do you have all of your family members' email addresses?
I have
That's
all my
what I'm
family
curious
members'
about.
That is pretty wild.
We have
actually.
a big family chain, so
Yeah.
that's normal for us.
Emails
Really?
though or text?
Emails and text, baby.
Okay.
Okay,
you-
text makes sense, but
Baby.
not emails.
Yeah, email. Y'all are organized. I'll give you that. Now, the letter is not over. Okay. The dad continues, let me be completely clear.
Oh, wow. He wasn't clear enough.
Yeah. Mom and I are completely, absolutely 100% against any of you living with a boyfriend or girlfriend, which I think, again, goes back to, like, he just wants to be able to control the sister.
Yeah.
I feel like more
yeah.
so.
I'm confused because he was like, your sister told me about how she was going to live with a boyfriend, and that's like how we should do things around here. But also, I want none of you living with your partners at all.
Again, I feel like just another, like, mechanism of
control.
control
Yeah.
and
It's
how
all
he
about
can
control.
Critique.
He's a oligarch seasoned power.
We don't like that.
No, we don't.
Now, while we have not had any real in-depth discussion surrounding the ethical and moral implications of cohabitation, say that 5 times fast, there's much to consider and discuss. I'm well aware that your mom and I did it, but we both completely regret it for many reasons. A responsible family member might consider the implications of deciding to live with someone without first seeking the counsel and blessing of their mother and father in a decision of this magnitude. I have attached a small primer on just some of the issues that you might want to consider before making such a move.
Ooh, this is going to be fun.
I expect you to read all of it in its entirety.
I want to hear the primers. I'm actually super curious.
Well,
Tell me what you got.
we are not getting into the primers.
What?
We are getting
So
into
fun.
the response from the son.
Oh,
Oh,
like
it's-
responding to the email.
Literally responding to the email. I am
Whoa.
assuming everyone CC'd. This is a...
Oh, also, the dad has got to like be aware that this is not going to look good to the rest of the family, right?
I wonder, he might be so in his bubble that, like, this is just... he wants it at any cost. He's willing to lose his son to have the, you know, the satisfaction of knowing that, like, okay, they're doing it the way I want them to.
That is a lame trade.
That
Lame
is
trade. Not a trade deal I would want.
Insane trade.
No.
So just to be clear, the issues with my dad stem not just from my decision to live with my girlfriend, but also from how I have approached the issue. I have purposefully hidden my intentions from him because of the example of both my older siblings. Not reflected in the email above is the fact that my older sister broached the issue of living with her boyfriend 2 years ago, and there was a similar explosion in the family. After much pressure, she backed down, and it appears she is just now reopening the discussion. I didn't know about that until this email. The fact that I hid this from my father is a gross betrayal and proof to him that I am not mature enough to make these kinds of decisions. However, I certainly haven't approached this issue in a vacuum. I have discussed the implications of moving in with my girlfriend with multiple other people, and I have actually been given extensive consideration, not just to the consequences of my relationship with my girlfriend, but also for the inevitable consequences for my relationship with my dad. I simply haven't brought it up with my dad because, as he states above, I know he is 100% against it. Nevertheless, I am not ready to lose my relationship with my father and, by extension, my family. As a result, I met with my father the day after he sent the email, tried to explain to him that I didn't talk to him about this because I felt that I couldn't, and that I felt couldn't come to him for advice on most issues because I am a traitor if I don't end up taking his advice. Which, by the way, so far, great.
Yeah.
Like, he's like going, he's like very like
Systematically, like, this is why.
this is why.
Yeah.
He's not even attacking. He's like, this is just the reason why I felt like
Yeah.
I'd be a traitor if I came to you for anything. I explained to him that I want to be able to talk to him about big issues like this, but that I won't be able to until he can support my decision, even if they contradict his advice. Unfortunately, this was less effective. My father likened my request for him to support my decision to live with my girlfriend to him asking me support in cheating on my mom.
Wait.
So-
Say it again.
Yeah, so my father likened my request for him to support my decision, living with my girlfriend, to him asking me to support him in cheating on my mom.
What? Dude. You're kidding me.
Yep. I mean, if people are honest and share the, like, what they actually want to do, I feel like dad will basically end up cutting everyone else off until he is alone on an island and forced to reconcile. Because what about mom? Is mom just cool with, like, hey, I have to disown my kids now, all of them?
Yeah.
Like literally,
Yeah.
all the kids want to live with their partner.
I'm also curious,
For marriage.
like, what the is this a cultural thing? Like, is this what is the dad like the patriarch of the household, and the mom is just being like, all right, co-signing whatever the dad says? Like, I'm curious what the familial dynamic is, because where's the mom in all this?
I feel like
there's no way she's okay with this, right?
We haven't heard from her, so I think it's hard to say right now, but it does seem like he grasps at whatever, Bible quotes, not knowing the Bible and all these different things in order to be used, or like, hey, you got to tell me first, he uses all of these things as tools maybe to get them to do what he wants. Avery from the Swamp says dad is a control freak.
Yeah, so even if OP had gone to dad in the way that his sister went to dad about her relationship, it probably would have blown up in the same way.
Yeah,
there's no winning with him.
Given OP's level-headedness, I'm, narrator's never 100%, but I'm inclined to believe like a lot of what OP's saying about like that there was an explosion there. But OP continues, I'm not ready to give up yet. I then asked my dad what it would take for him to approve with a relationship with my girlfriend. My dad believes that my girlfriend and I are too dependent on one another, so he prescribed that we live apart for around 2 years, and that he would support us getting married and moving in together if we are still committed to each other after that. However, he predicts that we will realize that we're wrong for each other during that time and break up.
Interesting. So maybe dad just doesn't like the girlfriend too.
I think like, again, I feel like there's something just like deep rooted in dad that like is above our weight class to
he just
figure
doesn't
out.
want his son to make the same mistakes that he did, and he's going about it in the complete wrong way.
But it's like he said like, oh, he even, at least OP said like, oh, it seems like he likes my girlfriend, and he's like, oh, but I think you guys are. When am I supposed to get married? 100?
Yeah.
Meet my age, dude. Come on.
Let me live.
Let me live. Now, I'm actually open to living apart from my girlfriend for around a year. I have no doubt we would survive it. We survived her living abroad for 5 months, but logistically, it does not work. With graduate school, I will be in the same place for 5 to 6 years, and his plan would have us living in separate places. Thus, in order to reunite after a year or two, she would have to quit whatever job she gets now and then move to where I am. When I pointed this out, he said that he's essentially requiring my girlfriend to make all of the sacrifices here, and my dad did not budge. He told me that if she really loved me, she'd be willing to do that for me, and that she shouldn't have a problem with it since I'll be the breadwinner anyways. Just to be clear, my girlfriend is studying engineering and has career aspirations, so she's going to be making some goo-wop, okay? So at this point, I feel like I'm at an impasse. If I move forward and live with my girlfriend next year, I will lose my family. However, if I capitulate to my dad's demands, I will lose the love of my life. More than that, however, I will be reinforcing my dad's controlling behavior. Every major issue in my life and the lives of my siblings are approached by him in this manner. Up until now, I have felt that I have no real control over my life because all of my decisions are dictated by my dad's wishes, regardless of my own desires. I felt for some time now that things will eventually and badly end between us when I eventually take control of my life, but now that it is happening, I have to ask if I'm making the right decision. Sorry if any of this is nonsensical or if there are any egregious errors or typos. It's quite long and I'm not sure, I'm not exactly in great shape right now. Also, I didn't manage to work in the fact that I am now an atheist, but I cannot tell my dad because that is grounds for being disowned.
Oh boy.
That's
everything is
important.
grounds for being disowned with this
Literally.
guy.
You drink orange juice? Oh, I hate orange juice. I had a cut in my mouth and it hurt. Disowned.
That's
Disowned.
That's dad. That's dad. That's fairly important, as I can't argue with him that cohabitation is in fact morally acceptable. While I still profess to be a Christian. There is an update.
Is it juicy?
It is the fattest, juiciest,
Ooh.
most shall I say,
Is it orange juiciest?
well
And
broken down. Oh, dude.
to the point where the dad might not even like it.
It's juicy.
Oh boy.
But before we get into that, really quickly, I just want to like shout out OP for being so emotionally mature and communicative at 22 years old.
Yeah.
Like he has a 1000x better grasp on how to communicate around these issues than his own father.
Yeah,
does.
and I think what's like, I mean, the father keeps saying, "Oh my God, you're not mature," but at every opportunity, OP has shown how mature he actually is.
So much more than his own dad.
So much more.
Yeah. Do we think he should just go for it? Live with girlfriend?
I mean, does he need the dad for anything?
It kind of
doesn't
sounds like, from just like
Doesn't seem
context
he needs
clues,
money. Doesn't
seems like he's set.
Yeah, I saw a comment earlier where it's like, dude, ditch your dad and go hang out with your brother. I feel like it might be at that point now.
Yeah. I think prescribing a talk with the brother would be really good.
Dude.
Because you can kind of still see, remember, he was like, I know that I have not considered maybe some of the moral implications. I feel like there's still that like brainwashing, which is, I mean, his dad has probably brainwashed him like that his entire life. It's totally understandable. But like, I feel like talking with the brother will really help him get the clearest vision possible for what he wants.
The curtain a bit. I agree. Yeah, let's get with the brother.
Well, let's see what happens in this update.
All right.
Hey, everybody. I posted in r/relationships a month ago regarding my dad threatening to disown me after I told him I'm planning on moving in with my girlfriend of 4 years. You can find the original post here. I am not much of a Reddit user, but I come for advice from time to time, so I didn't provide any updates after the original post, but you guys were all very supportive and helpful, so I wanted to provide an update. After the meeting I described with my dad in the last post, we didn't speak at all. I kept in contact with my mom. She periodically begged me to fix things with my dad and come to apologize, which I think now maybe mom wants the relationship with the kids, but maybe is afraid of like
afraid of the dad.
The dad, yeah.
Yeah.
And like being
I think
like,
she's
no.
like she wants to keep the peace.
Yes, yeah. But I've been incredibly busy traveling almost every weekend to visit graduate schools. This past week, I finally got some time, so I decided to write my dad an email apologizing for the fact that I hid my intentions to live with my girlfriend from him while still standing my ground. I sent this email last night, and here it is. Mom and Dad, to start, I'd like to apologize for how long it's been and the way things have all gone. No matter the reason, it was not right for me to misrepresent my plans to you or my intent to live with my girlfriend. I know that this was incredibly hurtful to you, and there's no justification for it. I'm sorry. I'd also like to acknowledge that I know that you're on my side and that you're just trying to prevent me from making what you view as a grave mistake. I do not believe that living with my girlfriend next year will be as detrimental to my continued growth and development as you imply. To be sure, I understand your concern in this area. Girlfriend and I are young, and I agree that we still have a lot to learn about ourselves. But where you see girlfriend as a hindrance to my development, a crutch that lets me avoid the painful process of growth, I see a partner who's going to help me along the way. Growth and development.
That's awesome.
Again, just like
OP is very mature.
He's so mature.
Ugh. I mean, he's had to be with these buffoons running around in his family.
Come on, dude. It is a miracle that his brain grew to work like this under his parents.
I know.
A freaking miracle. Thank God. Growth and development don't have to happen alone. It's something that you've been helping me with my entire life, and it's something that girlfriend can help me with as well. Dude, he's so good.
After bar.
He's so good. In fact, after a considerable amount of thought, I believe that my relationship with my girlfriend has fostered significant growth for me. Girlfriend has pushed me to try a vast array of new things that I never would have without her. Simply put, she is adventurous and eager to try new things. I cannot even express how this has pushed me outside of my comfort zone in beneficial ways. So while there are certainly ways in which our relationship limits our new experiences, I don't disagree that we spend a lot of time together. It's also expanded them greatly. Likewise, girlfriend and I hold some fairly different views. While you've spoken about this as a fundamental incompatibility, which will cause increased conflict as our young love matures, I see it as a blessing and one of the parts of our relationship. Our differing viewpoints have fostered incredibly fruitful conversations on a regular basis, creating exactly the type of hard reflection that is necessary for self-discovery. While it's true that sometimes it creates discomfort, it's also helped me learn how to disagree in constructive ways, and it keeps both of us honest.
100% agree.
Dude.
Like often, like having similar ways of understanding truth in the world, but different conclusions of what truth about the world is, leads to the most engaging debate that grows your understanding of each other and the world more. It's like one of the coolest things.
And like, it seems like not only is OP has attracted someone like himself.
Yeah.
A like brilliant, mature, and they're going to be a doctor and an engineer. Like It is
They're
any
chilling.
parent should be like throwing a
Thank
parade
God. Yeah.
in the streets for this child. Ha!
But instead, they're just like creating these dumb little emails. Ugh.
They need to get off the emails.
I
So it's
know.
just a little
Let's
deep.
send a
But
text thread.
yeah, come
What do you
on.
think?
Let's
Yeah,
graduate
to
to
the
iMessage.
21st century.
Come
yeah.
on. It makes our indefensible positions obvious while simultaneously forcing us to provide real justifications for our positions. Essentially, it's taught us how to fight, an incredibly important skill in any serious relationship, and has also made us better educated and more articulate people. Still, there's a lot of risks to us living together. I understand that living together comes with a whole new set of challenges that I'll have to learn how to navigate while settling into a new state and new school. I understand the divorce rate is higher amongst couples who live together before marriage. I understand that living with my girlfriend has a potential to distract me and undermine my studies. I understand that moving to a new place with my girlfriend makes it more difficult to go out and meet new people. At the same time, all of these risks are manageable and worth it to me. I've never let distractions impact my school, and to assume that I would is just silly. And while the divorce rate is higher amongst couples who live together before marriage, it also decreases significantly with education and income level. Girlfriend and I love each other, and after over 4 years together, we're both ready to move forward with our relationship. I know this is the opposite of what you think is right for me. I should just be getting less serious with girlfriend, not more. And like I acknowledged above, I know that there are risks associated with it. I'm happy to talk about those risks. And in fact, I want to know, I know you have a lot more knowledge and life experience than me. Countless times I've been certain about my choices only to see that you're right all along. But with how we stand now, I don't feel like I can talk to you about some of the big questions of my life. If I make a choice that you feel you cannot condone, it leads to major conflict and the possibility of losing my family. That's not to say that I don't ever want to object to your decisions, but as long as these objections carry ultimatums about family in place, I will never be able to seek your advice. All conflict aside, this last month has been terrible, and I don't have much time left before I go to grad school, and I want to spend as much time as possible with you before I do. I love you both more than I could ever express, and it's not worth wasting our valuable time together, fighting or not speaking. I know this conversation needs to continue, but let's continue to have it as a family. Love, OP.
Whew! That is some heat.
I don't know if I've ever
That
read.
is some heat.
I mean, this.
Oh,
I'm gonna
man.
I'm gonna do a Dakota. The OP to letter writing pipeline needs to be studied. Like the way that OP thinks about and approaches this. I mean, is there any notes here? Like
no notes.
There's no
A
notes, bro.
Plus, wow,
It's perfect.
wow. He's respectful,
Yeah,
but firm.
it's
He is empathetic, but like also clearly gets his view a point across, and also he's like the thing that we mentioned earlier, where it's like the dad probably just wants him to like ask him advice as well. He even does that. He
wants
even
it.
does that.
He's like, I
Wow.
literally want to ask your advice, but I'm terrified of losing my entire family.
Oh, dude.
I want your advice.
Masterclass.
Just-
I want your advice, OP.
Yeah,
You're crushing it.
please, dude. OP, if this ever makes it back to you, come on the show for an F, man. Like, give us the goods.
Give us the deeds.
Give us the keys to success here.
How did you develop into such a lovely young man?
Yeah,
You
my
know?
God.
Let chat thirst over you respectfully.
I'm imagining he'll be in like a little bow tie. He's just so like
Yeah, you just put together.
the way they
Suspenders.
speak. Yeah,
Suspenders.
yeah, definitely suspenders. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is gonna be a total left turn curveball you never would have expected.
What?
His dad writes him another email.
Oh, is it going to be crap? It's going to be crap. It's going to be crap.
Yeah.
This is not going to.
So here's Dad's reply to OP. Apologies are best delivered in person and without justification of every wrong afterward. Starting off horrible. This sort of takes the sincerity out of it. You and girlfriend have done so much damage to our family. You both lied to us for months. Crazy to phrase it that way. And in doing so, you disgraced yourselves and our family and greatly disrespected me and everything I stand for. You stand for stupidity. I'm so glad that I can disrespect that.
Get him.
We spent the last 22 years sacrificing for you. In return, you have stuck us in the back and crapped all over our family values.
Oh my God.
Oh, I'm sorry. I do not like this man. There's no honor in anything you've said below. only your own self-justifications for your dishonorable behavior. You expect those of us with principles to abandon them and go along with whatever you want. If we're unwilling, then you've absolved any responsibility under the excuse of ultimatums. Mature adults face hard conversations with poise and an open mind. I feel like literally OP could write this letter to dad and everything would work.
Yeah.
He's literally critiquing just everything he's doing wrong. He's not having a maturity and poise.
Wait, but he said like putting ultimatums? Isn't the dad putting ultimatums?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How is OP putting ultimatums?
He literally isn't. He's just, all OP is saying is like, hey, I'm going to be doing this moving forward, and I want your advice, and I want you in my life.
That's not an ultimatum.
That's not an ultimatum. Bro needs a dictionary. So I was honest, open, and upfront and proactive with you. You lied, betrayed, backstuck, and manipulated, and I'm the bad guy? Yes. Here, have the courage to ask for and receive advice before you make a life decision, whether you think you'll agree with it or not. Engaging only in conversations where you get what you want is pathetically self-indulgent and cowardly. What do you think you're doing?
Dude, this guy sucks.
What do you think you're doing? Bro, I got this crazy thing for you to buy. It's going to change your life. It is called
a mirror.
A mirror.
Yep.
You will see yourself in yourself.
I don't know how you could write this, read it back, and not be like, oh wait, I'm writing about myself.
It's insane.
It's insane. Yeah.
Like the level of mental Olympics this man has had to jump through. Bro is the Usain Bolt, the Simone Biles.
Yeah, he's flipping through the air. Olympics. He's flipping through the air.
Every piece of logic, he's doing a quadruple 360 backflip over.
Oh.
Every piece of logic. You say you and your girlfriend love each other, and after 4 years, you're both ready to move forward with your relationship. Is this how you both move forward? By deceit and betrayal? Through dishonor?
Through dishonor. What is all this dishonor talk?
This story is making me sick. Is this the basis you want to start the next phase of your relationship on? If you love each other so much, why aren't you doing the honorable thing and getting engaged or married? You're both adults. Do what you will, but don't expect me to go along with it or be your friend or father.
Wow.
When you lie to me, betray me, and disrespect me.
Wow. Okay, I feel like this is some like cultural like there's some like deep-rooted cultural standards that the dad is adhering to.
Yeah.
Golly.
This is tough. This is tough to watch.
Oh.
You got to come from a loving perspective, not an accusatory perspective.
And this is, I mean, bro has taken accusatory to a level I've never seen before in 2,000 stories. I have lost all respect for you and your girlfriend. You have destroyed our friendship and our relationship. So there you have it. So I got this email a few hours ago, and I'm trying to figure out what to do. I've been hoping naively, it seems, for the past month that we'll be able to work it out, but now it's pretty clear the only way I can salvage my relationship with my dad would be to not move in with my girlfriend next year. Of course, then he's got just as much control over me as when this started.
And now you're back to square one.
Correct. Back to square one. Katira Rain says this is classic authoritarian father. The Talmud says dad is a narcissist. Lady Morgan says cultural religion. Yeah, definitely. Kimberly Fine says not cultural, scorned narcissist. Yeah, I think there's something deeply rooted.
Scorned narcissist.
Something deeply rooted there. Yeah. Things will still be bad with him because of all of this, and I won't be living with my girlfriend. So I think my decision is pretty clear. Stand my ground and live with my girlfriend next year.
Ball's on you, OP.
Yes.
The ball's on you.
You've done literally all you can with the most grace and elegance and respect and empathy I've ever seen.
The balls are graceful.
Your balls, the most graceful balls I've ever had the pleasure.
Like you're bowling with them and they're hitting strikes every time. You got a turkey even.
The best balls I've ever feasted.
Best balls I've ever laid eyes on.
Ever. So congratulations to you and your respectable balls, OP.
Waxed up.
Smoother than silk.
Waxed. Ooh.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Cold.
Lukewarm.
Something to rest your head on a warm day.
Ow. That's too much weight.
Some people like it though.
Oh God.
Why are you looking at me?
You
Not
said
the Zoom.
it. You got the idea.
Uh-oh. Now, my question for all of you
All of me.
is how should I move forward with my dad? I really don't want to lose my relationship with him. I feel like I'll regret it later in life if I don't continue doing everything I can to salvage my relationship with him. At least that way I can look back on it. I can reassure myself that I did everything I could and that our lack of a relationship is on him. On the other hand, would it be better for me to just cut my losses and move on? And we have some edits with some updates coming up.
Oh, boy.
But to answer OP's question, how should he approach
I think,
moving
honestly, just know your dad is being unruly. Like these things that he's saying are unjustified. And at a certain point, you just gotta live your life. Like you have two options, right? Preserve the relationship with your dad by living under his thumb, or escaping the thumb and living your own life at the risk of not having a relationship with your dad. And it's like, I think it's more important to live your life than to ensure that the relationship with your dad is good, because it's really a relationship outside of your control. You've done everything that you can on your side, and now the rest is up to him.
Yeah. I think all you can do is, like, in any type of interaction, just reiterate everything you've already said. Like, I feel like you've already said everything there is to say on this, and it's just I do, like, if I was OP though, maybe I would kind of have the hope of, like, all the kids will be exiled and he'll be, like, alone on the island. Maybe mom eventually comes over, and maybe that's the only thing that will make dad finally see, once all of his family has, like, once he's cut off all of his family, like, oh, maybe I am in the wrong.
Yeah.
That's, I feel like, not the only hope, but.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the brother immediately, so that's a win. As soon as he leaves the dad, he's got his excommunicated brother. Does seem like the mom, like you said, like the mom
She might
coming
eventually come over.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, live your most authentic life. Maybe the rest of them will come, and the dad will come at the very end.
Yeah, rally around brother.
But
and
you
sister.
can't expect that. That's the only thing.
Yeah, you can't expect it. That's very true. Yeah. Gotta prepare yourself.
Let us know what you think OP should do, or do anything differently. I would love to know in the chat below.
Yes, please let us know. But we have some edits. So I missed my girlfriend's name in one of the emails. Just a note. And then edit 2. Thanks for all the support, guys. I've tried to reply to as many of you as I can, but it's tough to keep up. Not a whole lot's changed. But at this point, I've decided to talk to my dad in person one last time, although he hasn't responded to my text about meeting. My plan is to make one last effort to work things out. I basically have no hope that it'll work out, but I'm going to try.
And OP's trying to do this in person?
He wants to do it in person, I think, because of how the dad was like, oh, someone's
how
real
dare you
maturity
do
would
this
come
online?
and talk about it in person.
No, I think that's good. Honestly.
Yeah. If things don't work out, though, I'll use the opportunity to start wrapping things up, because my life is pretty intertwined with my parents at this point. My dad is my landlord, but I have an official lease, so it's not like he can pump me out or raise my rent. That's good. I also bought my car for my dad, but he hasn't officially transferred it to me yet. Gotta love it. He will. We've talked about it. Shout out if you just read our hilarious censorship. As crazy as my dad is, he would never just steal thousands of dollars from me. I see you. I know that probably wouldn't be true in a lot of situations like this, so I can be thankful for that. Then there's things like the fact that my parents still pay for my cell phone, health insurance, car insurance. If things don't go well, I'll return my cell phone to them and ask me to take them off their car insurance. I will, however, ask them to not take me off their health insurance until I start grad school. I hate the idea of being dependent on them for anything if we can't work this out, but I simply can't afford health insurance, and I don't want to risk crippling debt if something happens between now and when I start grad school. Once I start school, I'll get health insurance as part of my fellowship. On another note, for those of you who have read my last post, you'll know that my sister is in a similar situation. To get everyone else up to speed, my dad wrote this in an email to my entire family when this all started. Sister has shown the maturity and respect to discuss the possibility of living with sister's boyfriend at some point with both her mom and I, both separately and together on several occasions. She's taking her time to consider the decision carefully and how her decisions impact everyone involved. That's exactly how a mature, considerate, respectful family member behaves. To do otherwise is to disrespect family in an egregious manner and to threaten the very existence of our familiar relationships. I just talked to my sister last night, and she told me things have gotten worse for her as well. We don't talk much. She lives in LA now, and we've never been super close. She said that my dad was fairly open to her living with her boyfriend, but since things fell out between me and my dad, he's given her the same ultimatum and will disown her if she moves in with her boyfriend. She's less determined to live with her boyfriend and is actually trying to live with a friend next year. But if that doesn't work out, she'll probably live with him. She can't afford to live alone. So it may turn out that my dad will have to cut 2 children at once.
I mean, when will the dad realize like this is not worth it?
I think again, like my kind of hope and what I would probably tell OP is like, hey, maybe, you're like being so respectful to your dad while also like standing your ground and living authentically and going for what you want, being with your partner. I think you should maybe simply encourage your siblings to do the same, and hopefully that yields the best
maybe you
life
can
from
unite.
them as
It's
well.
like a union,
Literally,
create your sibling union and then protest dad.
I feel like if anything, stop wasting time on dad. Start reconnecting with siblings, and rebuild the sibling family over here, and hopefully that will naturally make the dad realize, because he's alone on an island, that he effed up.
Yeah.
Big time.
Hey, ho ho.
Oh.
Excommunicating your children has got to go. Hey.
Ho ho. Excommunicating your children has got to go. That's a new chant. Get behind it. But we have update number 2.
All right.
Now, on to this update. I talked to my dad in person this time, so I don't have any emails to post this time. I'll do my best to summarize. Thank God.
Yeah.
After my last post, I decided to try and sort things out with my dad one last time by talking in person. It was my spring break last week, and I was originally supposed to go on a ski vacation with my family. I was uninvited, but I arranged to come up and talk. Yeah, they uninvited him.
So they're doing it.
They're already the process has begun.
The process of excommunicado.
And he hasn't even like. I guess he has basically said, I'm going to do it.
But he hasn't started living with his girlfriend even. He's just has said his intention.
Golly.
Wow.
Last Wednesday, I made the 2-hour drive up to them. In short, it went terribly.
Oh, no.
Who'da thunk it?
Oh, no.
I resolved to apologize to my dad for hiding my intentions from him and for allowing the situation to drag on for so long, but to hold my ground about my decision to live with my girlfriend. My dad didn't receive this well and held that, 1, I was not at all remorseful for hiding my intent to live with my girlfriend from him, and since I still intend to live with her, my apology doesn't change anything. 3, he is not disowning me, but my decision to live with my girlfriend makes me an unprincipled coward.
What? Dude, this guy has all these principles but has no idea how to use them.
Bro, he has all the principles that are wrong.
Mm-hmm.
He has F- principles.
Oh, hate him.
OP has A+ principles.
Mm-hmm.
As such, he does not respect or like me, and therefore doesn't want to talk to me or spend any time with me. He was very careful to put the blame for the ending of our relationship on me. My actions are forcing his response. We end up fighting for about 2 hours, and I made it clear to my dad that for me, the conflict is not really about wanting to live with my girlfriend, but about the nature of our relationship in general. Dude, OP stays standing on business. I love this guy.
Me too.
I love this guy.
Me too. Dude, he's holding his ground, which, that takes a lot of courage.
Dude, so much courage.
So much courage. The dad's all saying, OP has no courage, has no scruples. But basically OP is showing exactly the kind of characteristics that dad says he wants in combating and pushing back on the dad.
And if he had, for example, said like, I've tried, this is too much, I need to walk away and go live my life, I'm here for you if you need to, but whatever, I wouldn't have been mad.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, protect your peace at this point. But like, he stays standing 10 tippy toes down.
Pretty great.
I told him that I don't feel in control of my life and that I don't base my decisions on what's right for me. I base them on how he will react. I essentially told him that he controls me and all of my siblings through emotional manipulation and that I wasn't going to take it anymore.
Big.
Again, I made it clear that I'm actually willing to compromise and not live with my girlfriend next year, but not because he threatened to cut me out of the family. Instead, I would only do so if I decided as a result of an open discussion where the ultimate decision was left up to me. I also told him that even if I decide to not live with my girlfriend next year, it doesn't really change anything about our current conflict. After the conversation, there was one point on which both agreed. Predictably, my dad did not take well to me calling him controlling, and eventually the conversation just devolved into verbal jabs at each other. After a while, we both just got tired of it and decided to stop. Things were worse, not better, and we were getting nowhere.
We're gonna continue to get nowhere. Like, is there how much more to the story is there? It feels
we've got like 10% left.
Okay, because I'm
we've got a little chunk left.
This is a saga.
Yeah,
This is a saga.
OP is who's like a Alexander the Great or whatever.
Yeah.
He led into battle with all of his army of reasonable empathetic,
takes. Yep.
communicative
And just
ideas.
got spat on.
And he just got freaking
Spat and shat
demolished. Now, at this point, I volunteered to leave. I didn't want to be there, and it was uncomfortable for everyone. However, my mom didn't want me to leave, and both she and my dad told me to not run away again, so I stayed. It was a terrible decision. I've never been more uncomfortable in my life. My dad completely ignored me and just shot me looks of disdain and hatred throughout the evening. I tried to talk to him a few times about various things, like my grad school visits, but he wanted nothing to do with me. It was actually a lot more painful than I expected to be so vehemently rejected by him. So eventually I gave up and resorted to binge watching TV on my laptop. The next morning, I woke up to my mom telling my little sister that they were going to leave after a few hours of skiing because it didn't feel like a vacation anymore. You are the most immature adult man father of all time.
He canceled the whole skiing trip.
The whole, do you not want to enjoy skiing? Do you not want to, you're probably wasting money, you probably can't get refunds. You're throwing money down the garbage.
He doesn't care, John. He's a man of principle.
Bro, the
money is no object for the principled man.
But that checks out, though, that this is a skiing family, not a snowboarding family. A snowboarding father would never do this. A snowboarding father would be chill. Ski father? No.
He'd be like, whatever you want, dude.
Yeah.
Just ride down the mountain.
Vibe out.
Pizza, French fries. If you move into your girlfriend, I will disown you.
Yeah. Pizza, French fries.
Yeah, I know what I did.
Yeah.
I know what I did, and I'm not going to change it.
It's the skis.
And I know you're going to all comment and say, oh, well, you did it wrong. I did. But it was still funny.
I liked it.
So laugh. Now I got up and I told my mom that they didn't have to go. I was planning on leaving that morning anyways. She just brushed me off and said they were going to leave regardless. She then told me that she couldn't believe I would say such hurtful things to my dad and that the son she knew would never be so mean. What about the husband you married? I told her that I simply told the truth and that I couldn't live under his thumb any longer. Well,
Which is also true.
While this was going on, my dad left to go skiing without a word. I then started to collect my things to leave, and my mom also left without saying a word. I tried to chase her down to say goodbye, but I couldn't find her, so I left without saying goodbye. We haven't spoken since.
Wow.
At this point, I'm not planning on trying to fix things with my dad anymore. While at the ski condo, I got him to sign my car over to me. I bought it from him for a very large amount of money 2 years ago, but he never transferred it to me. And I've also registered it, so I don't have to worry about him trying to steal it. I'm still on my parents' car insurance, health insurance, and cell phone plan. I intend to talk to them to remove me if our in-person conversation did not go well. But with my dad ignoring me so pointedly, I decided not to broach the issue. Yeah, bro. Listen, you've already been through enough. Get some free cell phone and health insurance for a bit. Like, my God. They should be, helping you out anyways. You're so on top of it. Like, come on. Instead, I'm just going to wait for him to make the move. I don't really have the ability to pay for these things until I start grad school and my fellowship begins, and I'm pretty upset that he's willing to throw our relationship away over such a petty issue. So at least right now, I'm happy to let him keep paying. If he chooses to cut me off, I'll do whatever it takes to get by, but if not, I'm not planning to cut these ties until my fellowship starts. By the way, if you want full episodes chock full of stories just like this, if you want 2,000 episodes for your listening pleasure, go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite pod app and search OK Storytime to listen to all those episodes. We are almost done with this.
Dangerously close.
Dangerously close.
What is annoying right now is I really want there to be like a nice resolution, but the dad's such a butt. Like I don't think we're gonna get one.
I thought of one thing that OP didn't say, and that is
what?
Realizing that you only love me when I do what you want, and that me doing this thing causes you to not just not love me, but to kind of despise me.
Yeah.
Is like the most
unfather-like thing.
It's the most unfather-like thing ever.
You are not being a parent. You are being a dictator.
Yeah. And in that like OP gave him phenomenal feedback. He's doing nothing with, but gave him phenomenal feedback. I feel like that, maybe it wouldn't have broken through, but it's another thing I think he needs / kind of deserves to hear. Like, these are the consequences of you treating me, your son, like this.
Yeah.
The pain I feel.
All right, let's finish this thing up. Let's see what happens.
Let's close her out. So that's it. No real resolution. I think my relationship with my dad is irreversibly damaged, and while I believe we may be able to work things out eventually, I don't think we'll ever be able to be close again. I hurt him incredibly when I accused him of being controlling, and he has shown to me that his love for me is conditional at best.
Yep. Oh.
If not non-existent.
Dude, guess whose love is unconditional?
Ours.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And that guy that he reads the book of? Yeah, that too. You can't, no. Gosh, no.
Who guy?
Which guy?
Well, if he's a Christian, that's unconditional love. They always talk about unconditional love. And he's like, my love is conditional for you? Bro.
Don't you remember Philippians 8:17? Thou shalt not move in with thine girlfriend, or dad will disown you and will call you a coward on thine email.
Wow.
Banger verse.
Quote.
Just saying. Now, thanks to everyone for following along with all the advice. I don't see there being any need to update anything in the future. And what do you know? There wasn't, because that's the end of the story.
Wow. I feel bad for OP, but in a much more real way, I don't feel bad. And let me tell you why.
Tell me.
Man is prepared for the world.
Dude.
Yeah,
he is going to have such a good, happy, healthy life with all the other relationships that he creates from henceforth. This relationship with his dad will be the worst relationship in his life, and everything else is going to be gravy, because wow, does that kid know how to communicate.
So good.
He probably
So
has
good.
a massive hog too.
Oh, don't you know it? Dr. Dong. That's what they're going to call him after he graduates.
This much confidence, there's no way he doesn't have a hog.
That's right.
But I think that's where this episode ends.
It's finito.
So if you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you.
And see you tomorrow.